eat like slaves anymore because we're not slaves. If you cannot control what you eat, then you cannot control what you feel. Eat your largest meals in the middle of the day, not the end of the day.
What part the homeostasis plays, you're on your way to healing yourself. The homeostasis is the internal environment where your body is at its ultimate functionality for healing. Just keep in mind that everything that is happening to you is happening for you.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome in the new year in. It's a really wonderful beginning, and I only wish for you a great beginning as I've had, and we're going to make the best out of every moment. So welcome, everybody. This is The Mind of Nature. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. And myself, along with the wonderful Carolyn Gentle, we're going to bring her on up so we can. Hey, what's going on? Hey, you still partying, huh? That's great.
It's funny because I thought it was appropriate because it's our first stream of the year. So I'm like, okay, Happy New Year. Wear my New Year gear, but the funny question is, how long do you say Happy New Year? That's always the question. Like, we still say Happy New Year. Somebody tell me in the comments, how long do you say Happy New Year?
That's a good one.
Sorry, how are you?
Everything's beautiful. Everything is beautiful. I'm looking forward to a really awesome I just feel great about this year. This is the year that's kind of like is going to expose everything. It's the year of exposure to me. It's like whatever you are really about is going to come to the light.
Right. And if you don't say it, Cat Williams will. Okay, I'm just saying. But yes.
What is it going on, man? Brothers are just like, they get, when you divide us, that is definitely, divide and conquer. Mm-hmm. I mean, these dudes are doing it. They're just like anyway. If we go into that, they'll take too much time from us. We got the hour of power.
Yes,
what we're gonna do today. But we know there's a lot of things happening out there, and today we're going to talk about some of the things that's going to help us to thrive versus those things that just help us to survive. So let's let the folks get a chance to get on in here. I am looking forward to a wonderful presentation today. We're talking about how you select or how you choose your eating lifestyle. And the eating lifestyle, this is really important so that we can get you off to a great start for 2024. So before we go into that, Carolyn is going to let you know what you can do to become involved with us and joining us and supporting us. And Carolyn, take it away.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us here today in The Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. My name is Carolyn Gentle, and today's topic is how to choose the best eating lifestyle. I see Yolanda here. Hey, Yolanda, Happy New Year to you. Every day is a gift. It's unlimited. Oh my goodness, you are so correct with that. Thank you so much for joining us here today. For anyone that's listening right now, we are on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram streaming live. So thank you all so much. If you would share the live out, share it with at least 5 people. Let's bring them in for the new year. This is a great topic, to start off with, choosing your eating, your best eating lifestyle. So bring them on in, let them know about it. Remember, the rule for that started off in 2023 and rolling over to 2024 is to not keep Dr. Zarif a secret. Okay, so let's go ahead and share it out with everyone you know, just so they can be a part of it. Yes, it's gonna be a great one, Dr. Zarif. Hey, I see.
I'm looking forward to it. Oh, Shirley, woo! Hey, Shirley, it's good to see you. And we have Nurse Shirley, gentle, smart in the house, and we love her. And she's always, man, telling support. And Yolanda, you know, you can really, really and truly tell people that are real, you know, because one of the characteristics that they all have is consistent. They are consistent. They're there. They're dependable, reliable. And
Yeah.
well, that means the world to us. So we really appreciate that you're not just fair weather friends and, you know, just see you once in a while. So
Right.
go ahead, Kara.
Oh, and I was just gonna say big up to Yolanda. She said been to the gym twice this year. Whoop whoop. That's right.
Wow.
We only on the 6th. Hey, that's great.
Yeah, that's saying a whole lot. Today is only the 6th.
Exactly.
You know, so,
Yes.
so
Hey,
beautiful.
thank you so much. Good morning. Happy 2024. Have a blessed 2024. I agree. Same to you. Thank you so much. Again, if you would please share the live out so we can have others be a part of the conversation as well. This one's going to be a great one. I'm pumped up about this year, Dr. Zarif. I really am.
I am too, because I'm really looking forward to taking some names. You know, I'll leave the other part out. But I'm really looking forward to making some changes. Look, you know, like when it really comes down to it, it's like you either gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. You know, people, if you're still talking about I'm gonna try, I know I'm gonna try. Look, let's come to grips with the way that we eat, the way that we live, the way that we believe, the way that what environment we return to every day, who we hang around, how we think. All of those make you up, and it's not about you wanting to be perfect or a saint. We're not looking for it. You know, we know that, you know, there's like people that I want to be an angel. You would get your chance, I'm sure. But this is really about finding a way that you can eat, finding a way that you can exercise to maintain your body, make sure that you also get the rest and choose an environment that is healthy. These are just 4 important pillars that we need to pay attention to. And now when we have these brilliant people that continue to show you that what we're talking about, it really works. You don't have to wait until you read something or get it from somebody else. You have people like Yolanda Rogers. You have Shirley Gentle Smart. You have Chinese. These are people that are here with us all the time. And we have other people. Let me see if I can get over. Oh, what happened to my?
I have. While you're doing that, I just wanted to read off what Yolanda said. She said, "I didn't learn how to eat until my 50s, and thanks to Dr. Zarif, book Slaves of the Tongue. It's a great read." And and she says, "No, yeah, now y'all stuck with me. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it."
That's right. And we want to leave it like that. Shoot. I ain't gonna turn down love. That's beautiful. Beautiful. I love the hat. That is such a great idea. New Year's. Did you do anything special for New Year's?
Well, you know, it's funny. I did 3 of the countdowns just to make sure I got them all in. So I did Eastern time with New York, and then Chicago, and then Pacific time. So I wanted to make sure, you know, I got it right all 3 times. And it's fun to say Happy New Year every time.
Wow, that's really cool. That's awesome. Well, we definitely see the struggle is real, and I'm enjoying the full ride. Go ahead, talk about it, Yolanda. We're going to I definitely want to share that. We have to get right on this because this time goes by so fast, and right when I'm getting into it, it's like ding, time's up. So let's go ahead and start. Okay. So first, what the things that I want to start with is talking about what did you eat this morning, to start right where you are now. The reason that the whole idea of eating a certain type of food, when you're going to eat it, and how you're going to prepare it. All of those things are important, especially we're talking about thriving. In the past, the way that we eat, we're eating to survive. That's surviving. I'm not talking about just surviving. I'm talking about thriving. That means that we are living with a plethora of choices. We have this entire planet that we can travel to find out different ways to eat, but we also have a choice of just thousands, hundreds of thousands, different types of food. So let's get out of the habit of just the struggle, because the struggle is just something that people that are impoverished and they don't have the choices that we have, people that don't have the education that we have, and people that don't have the capacity to take a stand. And this is very important. And today, as we go on over this, we want you to leave here today with knowing that you know better, so you should be able to do better. Okay. Now, no matter how much money you making, no matter where you live, what you're driving, if you don't have your gut together, if you don't have your body together, it's going to be quite difficult. Today, healthy eating is just totally subjective. Is subjective, meaning that people approach it with their ideas or their, let's say, their opinions. And their opinions just simply are things that they're spreading, or they're sharing with other people that somebody else shared with them. But it has nothing to do with I would say facts, but I want to separate it even more than that. It has nothing to do with the science. So what we want to do is we want to start looking at scientifically, meaning that it has been proven over and over. It has been proven. So there has been studies on it, that we have resources or sources that, where we can go to, and we can find out that it was proven by CDC or the NIH or the USDA or FDA. Those are some of the societies that can vouch for some of the things that we face as far as the availability and the quality of the food that we eat. Now, there is an enormous amount of rejection and resistance that we get when we start talking about, the way that we should eat. But when we talk about the way that we should eat, we're talking about the subjectivity, and we're talking about an opinion, because the way that we eat today, face it, and really think about this. I'm just not running my mouth. I want you to think about this, that there are so many of us that really think that we eat according to what's healthy. But the way that we eat according to what you believe, your faith state. So you eat according to the way that you believe. There are some people that eat according to their religion. Many and most people eat according to their religion, their belief system. Now, you can believe a thing, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing because you believe it, but when you want to make sense out of it, as far as how that particular food works in your body, or if you want to look at the nutrients that you're getting from the food. You don't go to your religion to find that out. You go to the scientists, you go to medical sources, and you find out, how does this affect my body or my child's body or my family's body? So this is why it's so important to know the difference. It's beautiful to have belief. You know, this whole, that we would be suffering from anarchy if we didn't. Belief is super important, but the realism or the reality is that when you look at it from an edifying disposition or perspective, you are looking at how it affects the human body that is proven by a certain methodology. And that is a methodology, and that is to know that it has gone through science, that it has been researched, it has been studied. And this is why we can say, like, for instance, a doctor of nutrition or a doctor of anything, this just really reflects the many thousands of hours that these people have done, including myself, to bring you this type of information so that you can put it in motion. Now, I'm going to tell you already, whenever you step up your game, you are going to be, your uniqueness is synonymous with aloneness, meaning that your uniqueness is going to put you in a place where you're different, where you're accepted as being different, where you're looked at as being different. And whenever you eat differently, this is a part of people's religion. And when you don't eat as they eat, or you eat different than those people eat, then these are charges held against you. And that's why we have so many people that have so much resistance, and sometimes to the point where they sever. You separate because you don't agree with the way that they eat, when food itself is all about keeping you a healthy individual. So let's see today if we can choose some of the ways that would help you to be more vibrant and also selective about what you eat. Some of the things that I want to go over today are I'm going to go over the rhythmic ingestion. And rhythmic ingestion itself is a way that we eat, and it is in harmony with your body. See, everybody gets up in the morning, but everybody has a different way that the morning affects them. However, our first hour in getting up is very similar throughout everybody that goes to sleep and gets up. Our body does a certain thing. So there's a mechanism that most of us experience. There are some exceptions to the rules. When it comes to rhythmic eating, we want to eat in balance with, or we want to eat in alignment with those things that we do in life. So rhythmic ingestion is talking about the time restricted way of eating and working in sync with the body's natural body clock. So the very first thing that we know, for example, is that the first hour, this is your first hour, you want to eat an average of about 3 to 4 servings of fruit, or you want to also have about 2 to 3 servings of a mixture of fruit. It can be the same fruit, or it can be a mixture. Also, along with you can do a combination of about 2 servings of hot cereal, or 3 servings of hot cereal if you had a big appetite, and then 1 to 2 servings of fruit. And you also want to have water. This is the very basic. Now, some people actually defecate before they eat a first meal, or so-called breakfast. and other people they stimulate a bowel movement, and that is to make sure that you practice on having a bowel movement before you leave home. And this way you get it done early. If you do it, if you hold on to it and go to work, and when I say it, I'm talking about waste. When you hold on to this waste and go to work, then what you're doing is allowing your body to reabsorb the waste. So let's carry on. That's the first hour. The third hour, you want to have about 1 serving of raw nuts and raisins, or raisins, and you want to have 2 serving of a protein dominant food. The PDFs, you can remember that, the protein dominant foods. The 5th hour, you do the same thing, nuts and raisins and protein dominant food. You don't have to have specifically nuts and raisins. This is an example. Right now, the way that we eat with no purpose other than I'm hungry, and this is something that we do all the time. It's called breakfast, and you will smell the aroma, the coffee, the bacon, the toast, what have you, right? And that's if you're lucky. So if we're dealing with that on a daily basis, and we know that the grease, especially that early in the morning, your body hasn't even started yet, and you're not up, you're not stretching and breathing, and that's what I mean by it hasn't started yet. It's time to change that. Health is wealth. So you can measure your wealth by how healthy you are. And when you do the things that will allow you to perform well, you look great, and you feel wonderful, that is the typical and the very climax of health. And that's where you want it. And you want to keep it like that. You want to be very, very healthy constantly, because this makes a difference between, again, if you're just surviving, we want you to get into thriving. Thrive, not survive. Survive means you're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to eat anything that it takes to keep you living, and that you don't have to, especially everybody within the earshot of my voice. This is very important. You have the power to change and to choose what you put into your bodies. And I hear it all the time. I love myself. Well, if you love yourself, why are you allowing yourself to eat something that can damage your body, that can injure your body? And this is what we do constantly. Now, let's look at the fact that we're going to eat pretty much what we want to eat. And that's the beauty about eating, is that most people can manage it for themselves, and they actually keep it to themselves if they're eating something that isn't healthy. But you're only as sick as your deepest secret. Keeping the secret, keeping what you're eating away from people as a secret. And when I say people, I'm talking about people you're close to. It's not the publics, not the public. So let's keep that in mind. You want to share with people what you're eating, especially those loved ones, because we are all responsible for each other. It's not about, this is my body. My body belongs to everybody that loves me. And I mean that in the sense that it's my responsibility to take care of myself. I don't have to have, look at big muscles and all that stuff. That's all of that is, most of it is DNA. So in other words, more people are muscular or they're shapelier because of their DNA. For instance, you have people that have really nice round behinds. Their butt is naturally round. It's a very nice shape, and they get plenty attention for it, and many people really like what they see. However, that's DNA that came from mom, dad, or some recessive genes. And it doesn't come from, here you can get this in 30 days. And you definitely don't need a BBL, because those are some of the things that people are getting sick from and dying from. So let's make a difference. Take advantage of your ability to choose. Now, when you get to the largest meal is in the middle of your day. Keep that in mind, that if you're thinking about your largest meal just being something that you are eating because that's the best time of the day for you to eat the largest meal and that's it. No, I want you to think a little outside of that and a little more than that. The eating your largest meal in the middle of your day allows the second half of your day to be used to break down that food. If you're eating and or working and you're just continuing to work and you don't stop for a minute to take a break, you're not eating in those intervals, what happens is that you wait for a long time. And then at the end of the day, you overdo it. And that's most of the picture of most of our eating habits. If you understand what I'm saying, give me a heart over here, a thumbs up or something. Let's wake up, y'all. It's really about you this year. This is 2024. This is a time that you can turn around those things that you've been saying for years that I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Oh man, I'm going to give it all I got. I'm going to try. Yeah, when I'm trying, we've got to change that to I am doing it. Let's go over here. I wanted to talk to you today. We're talking about rhythmic ingestion, and what I just shared with you partially is those times that are best for us to eat. I think we were coming up on what were we were saying. The time for your largest meal, and the largest meal again allows for more room, more time to break down food. Now I know that it's lunchtime in the middle of your day, but it's beautiful. Today is perfect because most of us now are working from home, and when you're working from home, now you're in charge. You shouldn't be eating like you ate when you were going out to your office or making that long commute to work. You should have, even if you don't have a cafeteria, you can brown bag it. You can put it's better to eat your own food. I like my own preparation, but you can find, instead of paying all that money out on a daily basis, learn to put some real quick meals together for you so that you won't have to, and really make a really well supplied bag with a lot of groceries. And thanks for the couple of hearts there, y'all. Thank you. I love that. It means that you like what you hear, and I really appreciate that. Later on, we're going to give you some more information, because this time we're going in and we want you to be here with us as we continue doing this. Many people are writing us, telling us that they are doing better because we are here for you, for us, every week at 8 a.m. and we're live streaming. And we're doing this because we actually love you. And I know that's usually like, ooh, love is too deep, it's going too far. No, we love you because we want for you what we want for ourselves. And this is no intrusion on you. This is just to let you know why we do what we do, because we have definitely been put far behind in the back of the bus constantly. And we want to change this narrative. Now, after your largest meal in the middle of the day, remember, you wait 3 hours. So you got 6, 8, 10, 12. And after 12 o'clock, the next meal you should be eating is going to be about 3 p.m. Then after that, between 5 and 6 is your cutoff, if you get up at 6 a.m. in the first place. If you're continuing to eat that old-fashioned way, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you are way, way superannuated. That's antiquity. So we want to change that behavior so that you can start eating foods that keeps you turned on through the entire day. It doesn't mean that you're going to be, a perfect picture of youth the rest of your life. But what you can is you can minimize the wrinkles. You can minimize your body aching. So in all of these years, now I have a birthday coming up, and my birthday, I'll be 68. Yeah, I'll be 68. I'll be 68 years old. I don't feel it. 68, I don't even think it. I don't think like that. I usually don't talk about it because I don't want to hear, oh man, that and the people that fear that. Some people are afraid, like, oh man, I'm getting old. In 3 I'll be 17 or 80, and then is people just don't understand how life never stops. It changes. So I've been doing this. What I'm doing right now for over 40 years. I started as a teenager. Well, I was a preteen. So, I started very early, and I started in Detroit, Michigan with the Ninja Karate and Health Club. Karate and health, this is when I was a child. So I've been aware of this for a very long time. I know it is a hard agenda to push because most people, you can't tell them diddly squat about what to eat. They think that they are eating the best way, and they're doing this because it's their business and this is their belief. But in 2024, I am going to suggest to you, start eating the way that it complements what you are doing here in life, your purpose. You shouldn't be just eating just for the hell of it. You should be eating because it is something that complements your lifestyle. At the end of the day, you should be eating your smallest meal. This is your 12th hour. So between 12 and 13, that's that last hour that you're eating. This is your smallest meal. And this is where you can have like a cup of tea. You can have whole grain cereal or hot cereal, helps you to sleep to a small amount. Now, I'm not talking about hot cereal and brown sugar and butter and raisins and bananas and granola. And, it becomes something else. Just keep it simple. It's typical that we have 12 hours. That's our first 12 hours are the hours that you use to eat. Catabolism. So you'll see even on our charts that you'll see for those of you that got the charts. Let me see if I can bring that up. I want you to see this as we go into this new year. I got so much stuff up here, I might not be able to do it. Let me see. Yeah, we're going to scratch that for right now because I got a lot of stuff up here that I want to share with you. But just keep in mind that your largest meals where? It's in the middle of the day. Now, remember, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all of that stuff, those are ideas that have come up by employers. And that means the farmer that have the deepest pockets and those other manufacturers that have the deepest pockets. The way that you eat has nothing to do with your health. It has everything to do with you having the behavior of an employee. So the employer can get the best out of you. So when you get up in the morning, you'll be eating a certain thing to get you to work. And that's enough energy to get you to work. Once you get to work, that energy lasts all the way to what's called lunch. Some of you have coffee breaks, but that's just like going to the break room, getting some coffee and maybe some crackers or something. But then we also have lunch. Practically everybody eats at 12, because the normal time of getting to work is 6. Most people start at 6 a.m. Some people start at 9, some people start at 10 and all that. But it all goes up. Everybody works approximately 8 hours. But in that 8 hours, remember, you have 12 hours to work. Let me see. I'm going to, here we go. Let me see if I can do this right fast. because I really want you to get this. I want you to understand this. You're not waiting. You're not waiting for somebody else to start eating the way that you want to eat. You want to actually, here we go, present. You want people to actually share screen. All right. This, let me see, can I get it? I don't know. I don't have time for this. So anyway, great. Let me see, live viewers. I wanted to just make sure, I wanted to show you, but there's some kind of technical difficulty there. So let's go ahead and continue, everybody. I'm going to stop just for a second and just read some comments that I had as we continue talking about eating according to your lifestyle. Your lifestyle. If your husband gets up later, two hours later, he's not on the same system that you're on. If your wife gets up later, she's not on the same system that you're on. There is an individual way of eating. Remember, you're going to eat fruit is to remember that first meal to stimulate a good bowel movement and to take in the fiber, to also to bring in the pure water. It's the beginning. It's the fresh. You know, when you say, I got to go take a shower, when people's like to say that they have to take a shower. Well, all of that is all to do to get you refreshed. And that's what it's about, refreshing, recharging. You know, it is getting your body prepared for the rest of the day. So stop eating just because, but eat for a cause. Okay. So here we go. We got doctor is the biggest DR. Okay. The doctor is the biggest drug pusher, prescriptions for any thing in choose healthy lifestyles is. Okay, yeah, choosing healthy lifestyle. Thank you very much for that, Yolanda. Choosing healthy lifestyle is a must, because if you don't do it, yeah, you would be subjected to eating or ingesting these different medications. Now, medications is, as far as I'm concerned, medications are very useful, very useful. The problem with us is that we overdo it. Instead of doing it per what has been prescribed. And I have to say that most doctors are on point because they are doctors that are responsible. There's a very small group of doctors that ain't worth a dime, and they are very, very irresponsible. And you're right. There's that kind. But look, in every group of any professionals or people, like if we were talking about pastors now, it'd be a group of pastors that's doing something that you like, that ain't got nothing to do with being a pastor. There are teachers, the same thing. There are other professionals, doctors and attorneys, everybody that wants to cheat the system a little bit or pretend like they're perfect and all that. I think this year, 2024, a lot of this crap is going to come out, and it's going to definitely is going to challenge you. What are you all about? What are you all about? Can you actually say it and then get it done? Because again, you're only as sick as your deepest secret. And if you're holding that in as a secret, then you will find out that later on, it is to your disadvantage to be sick and nobody knows anything about it. We'll talk about that a little later as we come up on a little bit past the half an hour. Going to bring up Carolyn. Come on up to the stage, and I'll take a break for a minute before we go into the second part of how to choose a healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Zarif. I always like to make sure that I'm not muted, so that's great. Thank you to everyone that's joined us today, and thank you for dropping comments. If you have any questions for Dr. Zarif, drop them in the comments as well. Thank you all so much for joining us here. The topic today is how to choose the best eating lifestyle. As you heard before, Dr. Zarif always mentions the closer you are to nature, the healthier you will be. And that's what we like to talk about whenever he's talking about eating lifestyles. Now, of course, he's always talking about you starting where you are. So for anyone that's saying, you know what, I can't drop or stop eating meat, just start where you are as far as eating meat, but eating less of it. So that's just my part as far as the eating lifestyles that you have. So again, thank you everyone for showing up and being a part of the conversation. I appreciate the shares. If you're on YouTube and you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, the YouTube channel is Dr. Farid Zarif. For anyone listening on Instagram, it is Dr. Farid Zarif. So, Dr. Zarif, I'm going to bring you back on if you are ready to keep the party going.
Most definitely. I'm ready. So thank you very much, Carolyn. We really appreciate that. I also wanted to say that, look, we really can see the difference in the numbers now, Kara. We
Yes.
get, we have many people now that have subscribed. We finally in the 3 digits now. Ooh, that's a long time waiting. Yeah, so we know that I want to be clear about this. I know, and we know, Karen knows this too, that being unique and being different than the typical fray, there are going to be people that are going to say, I don't want to hear that. I don't want. They'll throw those kinds of things out there, that negative vibe, because it's different than what they're used to. It's not different because, they don't get upset because I'm saying something that steps on their toes. It's the way that we've been taught. That division thing would definitely weaken any solid body. When you got this together, when you separate like this, you can't, the power is in the unity. So let's continue to work together. And now we really thank everybody for being very supportive. I'm telling you, many people talk about Black folks this, Black folks that, but I'm telling you, without us, we wouldn't be, and we know that. So it's like, okay, fine. Everybody got their differences, and we don't make anybody do anything. But what we do is we offer you in, and we ask everybody to come here with an open mind and being open to hearing different things. I know I'm different. I've never been like everybody else. I've always been unique. And that's what Farid means: unique, matchless, and precious. And this is very important to me because I have to live up to my name. And I am the character that you see, what I express. And it's not just about I'm talented, but your talent can take you places that your character cannot maintain.
Yes, you need to put that on a t-shirt. Okay.
It's pretty long. Yeah.
Right.
So
we use the back.
Yeah, maybe put it in shorthand. So let's go ahead and continue, Kara. So we'll go ahead and here I wanted to talk to you about the circadian rhythms. And when we talk about the circadian rhythms, everybody, this is really, really important. Again, I'll have this, I'll straighten this out later. I don't have time to do it right now. But when we talk about circadian rhythms, everybody, we're talking about the circadian rhythms in humans. And circadian rhythms is actually just your biological clock. And the biological clock are those, first of all, every cell in our body is affected by a circadian rhythm. Now, when we don't have, or we're not acknowledging the circadian rhythm, guess what's going on? The problems of the different symptoms that we have, or the vulnerability to sickness that we have, we can be like something that you haven't experienced before, and you get it. along the line. Most of the stuff that we're talking about as far as your health is concerned, guess what? It is connected to what you eat. Most people with any kind of sickness that you name, especially in the United States, their sickness is connected directly with what they're eating, their eating lifestyle. That's why it's so important, your eating lifestyle. Why people don't want to hear about it and say, man, blankety blank with that stuff. I'm going to eat what I want to eat. And the pork chops and the ribs, all of that is survival eating. It is not thriving eating. You want to thrive. You don't want to think survive. When you're eating that junk that injures your body, you are eating from a survival mode. Everybody got it? Okay. Give me some hearts. Get all good. I'm up to 4 hearts. That's good. I know it's more love in the house, but I really want you to get this in your mind here. When you, again, the first 12 hours, I'm just reiterating this, the first 12 hours that you get up, when you get out of the bed, and then 12 hours from that should be your cutoff for eating. When you get out of the bed, you start that meal in the morning fresh, raw. You don't want to, you want to get something fresh, something vibrant, something that has energy in it, right? You want to get up, good morning, sunshine, breeze, fresh air. If we can get that, if you're lucky, you live by the ocean or some kind of body of water, man, that's you real fortunate ones out there. But you also, if you are getting up to someone that you love, or you hear the sound of the children in the background, all of these are compiled reasons that we should be healthy, because we only have this one life that we know of, that we express like this, and we want it to be the best possible. So keep in mind that your body is busy all the time. For instance, if we just look at, let's say, 12 a.m. Now, 12 a.m. from let's go back a little more, because if I do that, then people, you said go to sleep at 12 a.m. No, I'm not saying that. So let's say let's take it all the way from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That is, we talked about catabolism, and that catabolism is when you allow your body to, your body will break down. This is the autonomic nervous system, and it works without you giving it any suggestions, instructions, and it's automatic. So our body is doing this thing constantly. Our body is always busy. Now, we can change the computers, we can change the cell phones, we can change your clothes, we can change where you live and what you're driving, who you be with. You can do all of that. Why in the world aren't people changing the way that they eat? We still eat like we ate back in the early 1900s, but we live so much differently. In the last 50 years, we've discovered more about human existence than we have since the beginning of our calendar. So we are smart. We do some incredible things. We're making great discoveries. Artificial intelligence is coming on us like crazy. And it's going to be great. We're getting better and better. Technology is incredible. But if you continue to eat in a way that doesn't make you healthy, then you're going to be a person that will suffer because of negating the opportunity to move upward and to make better decisions. Shanizi, thank you for all the hearts. Boy, that's a lot of love. I really appreciate that. I really, really want you all to get this. Now, the term circadian comes from, it's Latin words, and the word circa means approximate, and then dies, which is a Latin word, or dies means day, denoting approximately 1 day. So it's a Latin word. Now, circadian rhythm is also called the biological or circadian clock, and it refers to behavioral and physiological and molecular changes with a cycle length of approximately 24 hours. So every 24 hours, it repeats itself. Everything that's living and or is considered alive has a circadian rhythm. So even some people will say, well, how about fish? Fish have two sides of their brain, and we have two hemispheres too. But in fish, one side of the brain can be shut down or unconscious, and the other part of the brain can be conscious. So that's why they don't drown. It's like they can actually be asleep underwater and continue moving their body so they don't just sink down. It's incredible. Everything alive has a circadian rhythm in it. So it gets back to, you should be eating in a way that acknowledges those what we were talking about, that circadian rhythm. And the circadian rhythm, I'm going to do this a little bit here, move this up here. The circadian rhythm has two particular parts here. And one part is called the central clock, and that's residing in the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Say it, suprachiasmatic nucleus. And that's just the the SCN, suprachiasmatic nucleus is a part of the hypothalamus, which receives the light cues. So the light cues, also the vibrations of music, so that can keep you up too. But light cues, for instance, like the blue light that comes from your monitor, or if you're looking at the light that comes from your cell phone, those can be stimuli that keeps you from going to sleep. That's why it's not a good idea to look and to be on your computer a very long time, especially before getting ready to go to bed, because it can keep your brain very active, and you won't be able to sleep as comfortable and as deep as you should. The circadian rhythm, or the rhythm diet, is also known as the body clock diet, and it's basically a form of time restricted eating where you can eat in sync within your internal clock. So when I'm saying to you again, and I'll keep saying this over so you get it, because eating according to what you're going to be doing. If you're a person and you're burning a lot of energy, you want to eat a lot of energy. Calories are units of heat and energy. So the more calories that you eat, the more calories you can burn. But if you're really busy and you're going 3 and 4 or 5, 6 hours and you're not putting anything in your body, guess what? You're most likely going to overeat because you're famished. You didn't eat during the entire day. So that's why I have broken up for you the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 10th, and 12th hours. And this is 6 times a day, but it doesn't mean that eating has to be some extravagant, event. I have the big plate, or I have it can be a few nuts. It can be some dried fruit. It can also be vegetables. It can be a small salad. It can be a cup of mung beans and cornbread. It can be small amounts of food. We've been learning that a meal is huge, and that's what happens. We eat too much, and then we're overweight with that. Okay, in most mammals, including humans and rodents, food intake is organized with a period of 24 hours, meaning that in 24 hours, our food is broken down and it is ready to be excreted after that 24 hours. This is why you can eat, if you eat, and especially if you start cutting off your eating at the time that I am suggesting to you, you'll find that in the morning is going to be the perfect time that you defecate. The suprachiasmatic nuclei of the hypothalamus is the central pacemaker of rhythms of the physiological functions and behaviors such as feeding. So it is all a part of it. Your heart and your brain are doing different things, like even your heart is beating at a certain rhythm when you wake up, and your brain is also beating at moving, or has different types of brain waves as you get up every morning. And you should not start off your day with starting off with bacon and eggs and toast and all of those. It sounds like, oh yeah, that's the stuff. But those are the very first foods should be in your body, should be those foods that are nutrient dense and fresh, not fried, not all that salt and oil and sugar. That's the beginning of an addiction to that type of food. Let's at 6, after we go through this thing, at 6 a.m., at 6:45 a.m., for instance, I'm giving you some examples of how your body is very active out there. Your body, it needs to be complemented by food that you eat, exercises that you do, and the rest that you take. So about 4, if you get up at 6 a.m., for instance, which is the average time that we get up as a populace, about 6:45 a.m. is your sharpest blood pressure. That's the rise. So your blood pressure peaks at around that time, 45 minutes after you get up in your first hour. At about 7:30 a.m., this is where your melatonin secretion stops. Melatonin is important for what? Sleep. It is a hormone that that makes you sleepy, that complements that particular stage in your day. Then about 10 a.m. is your highest alert for that early part. At 10 a.m., this is when if you go into school, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You alert. You can capture and comprehend very easily. This is what happens to part of what happens to your brain, that alertness. And then 12 p.m. would be like your largest meal. About 2:30 or 3 o'clock, right in there, you're going to have your best coordination along with your fastest reaction time. This is what you're going to be physically. About 5 p.m. is your greatest cardiovascular efficiency and your muscle strength. So if you're getting up at 6 a.m. many people ask me, what's the best time to work out? The best time for you to work out if you're getting up around 6 a.m. is 5 p.m. This is when your body is warm, your body is stretched, you've eaten, you've moved throughout the day, and this will give you your greatest cardiovascular efficiency and muscle strength. Now, some people work out in the morning. I think that this is especially dangerous. I'm going to say dangerous. I know that's a little too deep for this, but you should be aware that if you are obese and you're working out in the early morning, if you don't have a discipline to work out later on that evening, what happens is you get the exercise out of the way in the morning, and then it leaves you the rest of the day to eat. And you don't burn it off or anything, and you end up going to sleep with extra calories. Okay, so that's why you want to eat. You eat throughout the day in small amounts, small portions. Your largest portion again will be in the middle of your day. Stop eating before you go to bed. And when you do eat the smallest meal, allow yourself 3 to 4 hours before going to bed. Now, the other thing that you should know about 6 p.m., if you're getting up at 6 a.m., this is your highest blood pressure. Now, remember, you have the sharpest blood pressure during that morning. Well, just before you go to bed, you have also another peak of high blood pressure that eventually will go down as you off to sleep. But the temperature changes along with that. About hour after that, the highest body temperature changes before you get ready to go to bed. And about 9 p.m., your melatonin secretion starts. This is when you're getting ready to go to bed again, and your brain is in alpha now, and you are getting deeper into rest. This is when you get sleepy. Now, you override the stuff when you take in a lot of sugar and coffee, caffeine, and all that other stuff. So that is it for the main thing. What do you think is the best way to eat? There are many other places, and we're getting just seconds away. But there are so many more things that we can talk about with this, especially when it comes to the different types of food or different types of ways that you can eat. So I'm going to see if I can bring that up. Well, I know all this by heart. It's just one of the things that I wanted to, I write little notes down there to remind myself to talk to you about it. But the things like a pescatarian, a flexitarian, if you talk about a lacto vegetarian, just the vegetarian. If you talk about the fruitarian is fruit. If you talk about Ethereans, if you talk about those people that are vegan, find out the way that you want to eat. Also, know that your choice of the way that you eat should complement what you're putting in your body, what your body is doing, what your body's doing on a regular basis. I have a lot of energy, so I make sure that I have the food that will supply that. I used to have acne vulgaris, but my skin, as you can see, look at my skin now. This is a result of my eating the foods that complement my system. When you have big bumps, I had bumps. I remember my little sister said, she was afraid. I'm like, what's wrong? Yeah, I was scared. Yeah, and I was like, oh man, I'm scared, my sister. And the thing that you can do when you see something, look at Kara's face. Look at there. All right, go on, girl. There you go. With that's the whole results of eating good foods, healthy foods, and continue to do that. Take the information that we shared with you today and do something about it. Put it in action. We got to get out of here because, as we promised, we're going to give you an hour of power and let you get into your day. Hey, we really appreciate you being here. Thank you all for showing up today. We got a lot to do. Hey, we got Ellison Gento. Mr. Gento is here today. Thank you so much for being here. It's really, really great seeing you. And thank you, everybody, which are even, Dr. Sher is here. Thank you for being here. How do we get an autographed copy of the guidance of your book? Okay. When you send that, you can actually send me an email through my drzarif.com. I have, you can just send me a message anytime, 24/7. You can send a message on there and I'll get the message. And then when you order the book, I'll go ahead and sign it for you. Okay. I signed some books for last week also. Okay. Remember, we selling these books out, but don't worry about it. We'll worry. When we cross that, we'll deal with it. That's not a problem anyway. That's definitely being thankful. Excellent. Thank you. Denise Kane is in the house. That's my sister. Hey, Denise, thank you very much for being here today. You rock too. Thank you so much. Denise Kane is one of the most beautiful vocalists you've ever heard. And besides that, she's my sister. And I'm really appreciate Sylvia, is it? Sylvia Levette Ridley is here. Thank you very much for being here, everyone. Everyone, we really appreciate you. We'll go ahead and take it out, Care, so we can get out.
Oh, yes. There's just one thing I wanted to mention before we leave. You mentioned working out in the morning, and that wouldn't be something good if you're obese because then you're eating throughout the day. I just wanted to say, just go to the comments in Instagram. With Chantel, she said, "Wow, I didn't know that. I definitely thought it was better to work out in the morning." So that's something that, great information, because I thought about that too, and I'm like, I wasn't aware of that. So thank you so much for that information, Dr. Zarif. And I just wanted to say hello again, Sweet Pea Chantel over on Instagram, and Eclipse Soleil is over on Instagram as well. Thank you all so much for joining us over on Instagram. We're not disregarding you or anything like that. So I just wanted to make sure I shouted them out as well.
Oh yeah, and I want to comment to that. The comment to that is that the if you have the discipline, because some people don't work out in the morning and then they're too tired to work out in the evening. You see, so you got to have a discipline with that. But what I want to be very clear on is working out in the morning, if you're obese, is usually not a good choice because you will be tired, exhausted later on. But if you can do a little bit, you promise yourself, and you act on doing a little bit of exercise in the morning and a little bit of exercise and later on in the day, you're going to really get some great results. And keeping your body, over the years, I've kept my body in shape because I do a little at a time. You don't have to be Superman every time you get up there and do some exercise. Do what you can. Do as much as your time will allow. Even when I look at TV sometimes, I'm like, doing a little, and I know this is just so easy, just like, but if everything that you do requires energy, so that means that you're going to burn those calories. All right. Yes. So keep those things in mind, everybody. We're going to talk again next Saturday at 8 a.m. Care, any closing comments?
No, well, Chantel just says, okay, thank you for the for clarifying. So that's always great. I'm always grateful and always thankful for everyone here joining us here in the Mind of Nature. Just remember that the closer you are to nature, the healthier you will be. Our mission is to give you awareness, listening to your feedback, and now it's time for you to take action on the information that you learned here today. Again, great information, Dr. Zarif, as always. Thank you so much for that.
And I want to say happy birthday. We have a birthday girl today, Michelle.
Yes, we're actually celebrating her birthday today, but her birthday is going to be on Tuesday. But we're going, the sisters and my cousin, we're going to the spa. Yes.
Have a real good time. That's going to be really wonderful. See, girls do it differently. I would never find myself going to spa with some guys, but it's just it's really, women are beautiful. Stay beautiful as you are. Everybody, thank you again for being here. We'll see you next Saturday at 10 a.m. Spread the word, and remember that everything that is happening to you is happening for you. I'm Dr. Zarif for Carolyn Gento, and we want to wish you the best. See you soon. Peace.